Hi, today I'm going to do a slightly different smoky eye look. This is a look that I've done quite a lot recently for editorial for autumn winter, and it's a really strong look. I did it for a Vogue shoot which I uploaded a video of, and you all said that you loved that really dramatic, colourful smoky eye. So I'm going to do a more toned down version, hence I'm doing it on myself, a slightly more wearable version, and I think it's a really nice way of using up lots of the really colourful eyeshadows that you have, which maybe you don't use very often. And it's really easy to do, and I think it looks really modern. So I've started by using some Pro Prime, Nars Pro Prime, on my eyelids. I haven't done any base yet because I think that whenever you're going to do a strong eye look, whether it's smoky or colourful, or as soon as you're using powders, they always drop down. And if you do a really beautiful base and then have to clean it all up afterwards, it's just a waste of time. So always on shoots, I do the eyes first if it's going to be really dramatic, and then it kind of helps you as well to sort of balance the face as well. So I'm going to start by using a black base. I'm going to use a MAC Paintpot. This is black. You could use black ground, which has got a little bit of shimmer, a bit more of a dark grey, or you could use anything really, Benefit ones or Makeup Forever, or any cream eyeshadows that are very, very dark. So whether it's a dark navy or a black or a very dark grey, it doesn't really matter. And then just start to pat it onto the lid, and it'll look really overly dramatic and not very good at this stage. And take it up to about your socket line. And if you've got hooded eyes, look straight ahead in the mirror, and then you can add the colour. If you just relax your eyebrow, you'll be able to add colour where you need it so that you can see with your eyes open. You'll be able to see the smokiness. I'm doing exactly the same thing underneath. So trace along. And as I say, don't worry too much at this stage about how it's looking. It just needs to be a really good base. Okay, so once you've got the dark base on with some kind of cream eyeshadow that sets, you can move on to the colour. So I've got that all over and it's really set now. Now for the colours, you can use any colour you like, and it's quite a nice way to use up colours that maybe, like, I mean, I've got palettes and things that I have in my kit that I don't really use the colours that often. And at home, I'm sure you've got palettes and things where maybe you use some of the colours a lot, and then there's one really bright colour or really kind of intense colour that maybe you don't use as often. So things like even loose little powders, like these are the Barry M ones, you know, you get some really vibrant colours. This is kind of an amazing blue. That's one of the loose powders by L'Oreal, which anything like this would be great. All of these sorts of things go brilliantly on top of a black base, and what it does is it really gives the colour and the shimmer a lot more intensity, sort of creates a lovely background for them. Another thing is the pigments as well by Illamasqua go really well over black. So I'm going to start with this really bright, vibrant, lilac-y colour. And you can see when you put it over black, you instantly get such a strong flash of colour. I think to keep it modern, I'm not going to do it too sort of organised, like one colour in the crease, one colour at the outer corner, one colour at the inner corner, and blend it too much, because then it can start to look a little bit old-fashioned. Now I'm going to dab a little bit of a dark green to blend that in slightly. And in the inner corner, I'm going to add something lighter and a bit more sparkly. So now I'm going to add a really reddish violet-y colour on top of the black underneath. In the centre there. I might also add a dab of that up here. I'm going to start a little bit of blending now. So we've got the green there, the violet there, coming into the bright blue. So just begin. O's looks a terrible mess at this stage, but I do this technique on all the models and people I work with, and I do get booked again, so it does work out all right in the end. So just keep blending it really once you've got a few colours on. And once we've done the base as well, we can come back. And once we've done concealer and things. So just blending the violet under there. This is a little, what's it called? Barry M one. Just dab that on. And as to the shape that you make, obviously it should suit your eye. If you need it winged out a little bit more, whatever your usual smoky eye shape is, I think just follow that really. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is do some base and concealer. I mean, I'm going to work on the eyes a bit more, but most of the messy stuff now is kind of done. So I need to clean up all of this colour that's dropped down onto my cheeks. So whenever I do a really colourful eye look or a very dark or intense eye look, I like to keep the skin looking really, really light and fresh, even if it's somebody that needs coverage on blemishes and pigmentation and things. I like the overall feel of the skin to be quite, well, very natural, so it looks, the overall impression is modern and fresh. I'm going to use this Dr. Jart BB cream, and Dr. Jart does about, I think it's about 11 different types of BB cream, depending on your skin type, how much protection you need. This is the one for dehydrated skin, so it's one that really holds water. It has aloe vera. Now before I do any concealing, I'm going to use a little bit of highlighter. I'm going to use this Shimmer Balm, which is for lips and everywhere else, anywhere else you want, by This Works. I just was using this actually at the shows last week and I really liked it, because it's nice and handy in this little lip balmy thing. So just put a touch there on the top of the cheekbones, a bit across the bridge of the nose. I'll put a little bit on my lips, even though I'm probably going to go over it. Just a little sheen, so my skin's nice and sheeny. So I'm going to do a little bit of concealing because I've got a few spots at the moment. I'm going to use some Vichy Dermablend foundation and just go over a few spotty areas. I've actually got a spot, one there under my eye. That was huge a few days ago. It was very unsightly. And then I've got one there on my eyelid, which is not a fun place to have a spot. A little bit of light reflective concealer under the eyes and in the inner corner, so we have a nice frame for the colourful smoky eye. Next I'm going to use a little bit of gel liner. This is the Maybelline one. Going to put that inside the waterline. I'm not going to go right into the inner corner. And you can avoid this step if you have very small eyes, because it does tend to make the eyes look smaller. If your eyes are very large, do all the way along right into the inner corner. I tend not to, just because it makes my eyes look a bit too close together. So I do about, I guess, 2/3 of the way along. Suits most people. I'm also going to use that just in the roots of the lashes on top. Next I'm going to curl my eyelashes. So next I need black mascara, really an inky black mascara. I'm going to use the Black Magic by Eyeshadow. So we keep that really black centre to the eye. Roots of the lashes, waterline, lash line, and then we have all of those colours sort of radiating from that. For brows, I like to keep them as natural as possible if I've done a really strong smoky eye or something like this, because if you start to have a really penciled eyebrow, it looks really old-fashioned quite quickly. So just brush them through, and if you have any gaps, fill them in, but really softly, maybe just with a little bit of powder. So next thing I'm going to do is a little tiny bit of contouring. Just going to put a little bit underneath cheekbone, not too much because my face is quite bony. I don't want to make it too thin. Just a bit of shape. And I don't think you should wear a really bright blusher with this look, because you've got quite a lot going on with the eyes. And for lips, I want them really natural, so I just put a touch more of the Shimmer Balm on that I put on earlier, and then a little bit of nude lip pencil over the top. Just really light strokes and lots of blending. So that is the finished look, and I think this look works really well with a dark nail polish, like a black or a dark grey. And I think it looks good with a tuxedo jacket as well. So you sort of have quite masculine, boyish kind of styling, or something quite sort of tailored. And so it keeps it looking quite cool, as opposed to kind of, oh, colourful Barbie smoky eye. It's, even though the colours are really garish, you know, the reds and the really bright pinks and the violets and the greens, if you had them on their own without the black base, it would look incredibly sort of like a rainbow colourful eye. But I think as soon as you put the black underneath, it really just gives it an edge and makes it cool in a way. So I think it's a really nice way of doing an autumn smoky eye or a sort of wintry smoky eye. And also it's just so much fun, and you don't need to be technically brilliant, because you're sort of, once you've got the base on, it's very easy just to dab colours and blend them in, and you'll see it's really fun to do. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.